Hi, everyone, and welcome to the last episode of the year for Live Your Hero's Journeys podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Pheh Sze. I've decided to go live for my last episode of the year, and I'm going to do 3 more life lessons for the next year as well. So, the topic I'm going to talk about for today's episode is the top 3 life lessons that I've learned in 2021. As we are wrapping up another year in the pandemic, so much of our lives has changed in the last 2 years. And I just want to take this time to reflect on the things that I've learned and the life lessons that I learned and how I can bring that forward for 2022. So I'm here in Melbourne, and I'm not sure where you're listening from, but the last 2 years has been a challenging year for us, especially here in Melbourne. We've been in lockdown most of the days in 2020, and also perhaps in 2021. I've even celebrated 2 of my birthdays in lockdown. So in this pandemic, it has changes the way we live, how we work, and how we communicate as well. So for me, it's been a challenging year because there's so many changes that we have to go through, and also the way we communicate, and especially if in a lockdown, there are many things that you enjoy doing that you can't do, and perhaps it's the interaction and the communication with people that's close to you. So, what are the 3 top life lessons that I've learned in 2021? Lesson number 1: make your ordinary life extraordinary. So, what do I mean by that? Imagine 1 week, 7 days. Are you the type of person that live for the weekends? Your life only start on Friday night onwards, and you just live every day waiting for the weekend? Just pre-pandemic, there's so many distractions, there's so many things that we can do, and we always live for the highlights. There's many events that we can go to, or the holidays, we can just jet star everywhere around the world. If you feel bored, you can just buy a ticket and off you go. But in this pandemic, you realize that our lives are not made of just the highlights, and in fact, our lives are made of majority of the ordinary life that we live in and out every single day. So how can we make our ordinary life extraordinary? So I find that having a purpose and some sort of progression that I can work towards to help me to make my ordinary life extraordinary. So what do I mean by that? So if you have some sort of purpose, something that you really care for, or something that you really wanted to do, it gives you a sense of purpose. And I find that when you decide on doing something, it could be as simple as taking a new hobby or a new goal of, say, reading a book once every week, whatever that may be. It forces you to be more disciplined and look forward for the next day, because there's always some sort of progression, and you feel like you're learning and you are growing as a person, rather than living every day and feeling that it's so monotonous and you're just playing catch up, or you have nothing to look forward to. So it's great to have something to look forward to, but sometimes working towards a goal or a purpose will help you to overcome your fear. And when you do the things that you said you're going to do, and you turn up every single day, for example, if you want to journal every single day and you do that every single day, you feel good about yourself and you feel that you're working towards something that's meaningful. And for me, like learning tennis as well has been such a blessing in this pandemic as well. And there, of course, there's some days I can even practice the tennis, but I watch video at home and doing my shots at home. So whatever you can do, and make sure you can do that more on a daily basis. It could be something that is fun, or it could even be something to do with relationship. You want to build some connection. It could be even if you just even perhaps write a letter for somebody once a week and surprise them, write them a note. There are so many ideas and things that you do that is meaningful and that will help you to find the ordinary day, extraordinary day, and don't live just for the highlights. The second thing that I learned in this pandemic is how to make crisis as an opportunity. I don't really learn Chinese per se, but I read somewhere the word crisis in Chinese consists of two symbols. It means danger and opportunity. You know, in life, we are going to be thrown by a curveball. So it really depends how you adapt to the situation. So for me, it's either you can see what are the limitations or you can see what are the possibilities. So I take this opportunity during this pandemic to sit down and reflect what is it that I want in my life and what are the growth factors that I can cultivate during this time. And just be aware that we perhaps may never go back to where we were. So the question is, how can you adapt to the new future and how to make the best out of what we currently have? What opportunities that could be open to you that were never there before? So this is a great time to see, instead of looking at limitation, what are the growth opportunities that you have? It could be a career change, it could be your relationship, but whatever it is, this is a great opportunity for you for growth and to see where you can move forward in the new year, knowing that things may not go back to where they were. If you're 100% miserable in your current place, this is a certainty. But imagine if you think of the possibilities, if you make a new change, yes, there's always risk that things may not work out, but there's 50% chance that it may work out and it will open you to new possibilities. And through my own experience, I learned that all you need to do is to take the first step, open the first door, have the courage to open the first door, and everything else will present to you. So just take the first action and see what happens. And the worst case scenario, you can always go back to where you were before. If you never venture something new, you never know what the outcome would be. And the third lesson I've learned is to live my life backward. So what do I mean by that? I always like to live with the end in mind. So during the pandemic, I've done a lot of what I call as death meditation. Is to imagine yourself at your deathbed. I think with the COVID and pandemic, perhaps you may know of people close to you that are affected with COVID. And it really brings home that we are mortal being. Especially when you're young, you tend to think that you live forever. There's so much time in the world for you to pursue whatever you want to pursue or build the relationship that you want to build. One fine day when this thing happen, I'm going to do that. But what if tomorrow never comes? So by looking to the future and knowing what the end product, how you want to feel and what you want to accomplish in the world, and then look backward and see how you can do that. I know to live your dream or to live your final goal, it is not a linear line. We probably go through many journeys And life is about the process of going through the multiple journeys that we go through in life. So as long as you put yourself in the right direction and working towards the vision, then I think that's a life worth living. And hence, if death knocks on your door, you could say, hey, I live every day to the best that I can. I'm always working towards the direction that I'm going. So I never felt that I wasted my life. I done the best that I can. And whatever may be, I'm happy with my life. And if death knocks on the door, I am happy I live the life that I always want to live, and it is a conscious decision that I take every day to live the life towards the vision that I want. So this is the end of the year. So what do you think? What are your top lessons that you learned in 2021? And how can you bring those lessons and start your new year with new possibilities, with new vision? I'm so excited for 2022. I think that's going to be a great opportunity for growth. And this is a great way for us to think of the new life that we can create for ourselves, for our community, and most of all for the whole humanity, because we are in this together. I thank you all for listening in. It's been a great experience for me starting this podcast. So thank you so much for listening every week or tuning in and giving me the encouragement to keep on going. As I said before, showing up is just half the battle. So I'd like to wish everyone a great new year with new possibilities. And I'll see you next Monday at 12 p.m. on Facebook Live. 12 p.m. that's Melbourne time, Eastern Standard Time. And make sure that you live to your fullest, and also stay safe, be well, and I'll see you next year. Thanks for listening in.